In this propaganda video, militants from the group Islamic Jihad show off the labyrinth of tunnels deep below the Gaza Strip. Hard to detect, used to move fighters, store weapons, launch surprise attacks. For any Israeli ground offensive, this may prove the biggest challenge.
Ambushes, booby traps, explosive devices of every kind. They're going to have to be going in through someone else's carefully constructed, essentially trap.
It sounds like a nightmare.
It is. It's a truly excruciating kind of warfare in every conceivable sense.
Dubbed the Gaza Metro, these are just the tunnels the Israel Defense Forces seem to know about. Hamas claims they stretch at least 500 kilometers throughout Gaza. And making it even harder to neutralize them, Hamas says it's using the tunnels to hide the hundreds of hostages it's still holding.
I think there are two reasons you're seeing a slight delay in the Israeli ground incursion. The first is concern over the hostages. The second is the tunnels.
A network dozens of meters below one of the most densely populated places on Earth. Some entrances to the tunnels, Israel says, are hidden under schools and homes. The civilians who live above the tunnels at grave risk. Thousands of Palestinians have already been killed, says Gaza's health ministry, countless more injured in airstrikes that Israel says are targeting Hamas infrastructure.
Think of the Gaza Strip as one layer for the civilians and then another layer for Hamas. And what we're doing now is that we are trying to get to that second layer that Hamas has built.
Hamas has been rapidly building that second layer, not just in Gaza, but under the border to attack Israel. In 2006, Hamas fighters used a tunnel to kidnap Israeli soldier Gilad Shalit, held captive for 5 years. Israel has gone after the tunnel system before. Its last ground offensive in 2014, Israel says, destroyed 32 tunnels. And in airstrikes in 2021, it says it took out an additional 100 kilometers. That same year, Israel completed an anti-tunnel barrier along its entire border with Gaza. But experts say Hamas has found ways to dig even deeper. This propaganda video purports to show militants expanding the dangerous maze under Gaza, turning it into a vast military command center reinforced by concrete, largely able to withstand Israel's aerial bombardment.
And then they put in more sophisticated things like electricity, phone lines, and more. So you're really struck that this is not fooling around.
How has Hamas managed to build such a network?
Hamas took funds coming in from international aid and income from local taxation of the economy, money that came from Iran, money that came from Qatar, and its own investments around the world. Now, most of that was supposed to go to the needs of Palestinians who've been suffering terribly.
The IDF says it has soldiers specially trained for tunnel warfare. There's radar, ground-penetrating munitions, and Israeli robots may be able to help detect booby traps. Still, the tunnels will pose a formidable threat, one Israel must overcome if it's to wipe out Hamas, its stated mission.
If Hamas is able to essentially sustain an underground kingdom in which their top personnel are protected, in which they can retain weapons caches, then Israel will not have completed its mission and it will not find that an acceptable outcome.